And this is why I was saying before the playoffs, I'm like, Alyssa Thomas is one of the 5 players I want to see the least in the playoff series if I'm the other team.
Yeah.
Because the tone that she sets, she was doing
Yes.
this in Connecticut for years. The tone that she sets, like everybody on this team is going to be tough as shit. So Phoenix was down a lot in game 2. I think it was 20 plus, like 20 points. And at one point in the I think it was the third quarter, I was like, "Oh Jesus!" Like I thought Phoenix was going to bring it today, and I don't know what's going on. And then they're gradually making this run, and this is why I was saying before the playoffs, I'm like, Alyssa Thomas is one of the 5 players I want to see the least in the playoff series if I'm the other team.
Yeah.
Because the tone that she sets, she was doing
Yes.
this in Connecticut for years. The tone that she sets, like everybody on this team is going to be tough as shit. And you're seeing, first of all, Kalia Copper plays through the ankle that she badly rolled at one point. Satu Sabali was a monster in this
My
game.
dog.
Just a monster. 5 threes, and beyond that, just attack mode
Apologist.
over and over and over again. Alyssa Thomas, just love her game and just the attitude she brings. She's not for everybody, I'm sure, but like this is what her teams do. They grind you down late in games and they can finish you. And Minnesota, I think Minnesota will take this, but this is another one that I could see going 5 because of Phoenix's toughness. And then with Minnesota, obviously I love their big 3. Like the way you are with like Nalissa Smith, for example, I've been like this with Kayla McBride forever. Like this, one of my absolute fucking favorite players to watch.
Very
Kayla
worthy.
McBride.
Very worthy.
Kayla McBride is exceptional. Obviously, Nafisa Collier, Courtney Williams. But this is a series. Like, where are you at with this?
I think Minnesota is so skilled. Minnesota is so talented, and I think Minnesota probably takes it. I'm hoping that Phoenix gets it, that Phoenix extends it. And yeah, outside of the ones you named, right? Like Bridget Carlton, great body, great skill. Jess Shepard, great body, great skill set, great pace, can get it done at her own pace. Goddamn. Alana Smith, modern big, athletic,
dog,
co-depoy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, controversially so, not controversial, whatever.
Yeah, Bam didn't like that shit.
Huh?
I said Bam didn't like that shit.
Bam, I know. And you know what's so crazy? And this is a whole different thing. Bam should actually kind of respect the defensive respect that Alana gets, because while Bam does have his really loud defensive moments, so much of what Bam does defensively is almost as quiet as Alana's, where Asia's is doing like the loud kind of, but Asia does a bunch of quiet stuff too. Again, here nor there.
Yeah. I fight with people about Bam's defense all the time. He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
But yeah, they're so skilled, and Cheryl Reeve, like they manipulate space really well. They understand like kind of flipping perspectives really well. So like going forward and then turning your back, and now forward, the perspective of forward changes. And so kind of what space was open initially is kind of like a different pocket of space now. Like Minnesota is just a real treat for me to watch, and just the offensive execution is just bar none. And I think Phoenix is really talented. Like I think Phoenix has talent to make it, a long series. And I talk a lot about, the pros, cons, do's, don'ts, whatever, just the different aspects of, Alyssa Thomas's game, and how to use her, how not to use her, what using her one way versus the other kind of does to the rest of the space of the floor or doesn't. And, Nate does move her around. I like the way that he moved her around a lot in kind of game 2. Game 1, it was a lot of middle ball screens, let her kind of just get right down the gut. And when she's able to, and she's finishing through people or she's kicking. And then sometimes like when she's unable, and then the passes out are cut off, then things look a little bit different. I think in game two, he put her kind of on the wing and let her secondary attack some. Um, that changes the geometry of her floor, but it still gets her in motion. It still gets her going toward the basket, and she still has that whole kind of other side of options and things to kick to. So um, Minnesota probably still gets it done. But I hope that Phoenix makes it as competitive a series as like I think the talent on their team dictates that they should be able.
Yeah, like I've thought all year this is Minnesota's year. Like
Yeah.
after last season, how could you not think so? They brought back
I've
essentially the
been
same
seeing
team.
people say, "Oh, Minnesota." I wouldn't be surprised if they got kicked out first round. I'm like, first round, you're insane.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
maybe second round, even second round, you are insane, girls. What?
That's crazy. But like the part of me though is kind of like it'd be really cool to see Alyssa Thomas get one.
For sure,
Um,
for sure.
and I think look, if they win this series, it's very possible to me. But we'll see. If they get a 2-1 lead, that'll obviously be a lot. Rodney comments, Kayla is my favorite player in the WNBA. She plays with incredible heart. It's also just I always with Kayla, I always feel like she's where she needs to be on the floor. You know what I mean? Like she's where she needs to be on the floor. She's getting to the
No,
right
I agree.
spots. She
Yeah.
understands when her team needs her to shoot, when she has to shoot. I don't often feel like she's doing too much or
Yep.
whatever. Like
Yep.
the way she plays at her pace at all times.
So she doesn't make a lot of negative plays.
Yes, she doesn't kill you. She's like the perfect wing, basically in this league, and this is why she's been an all-star a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like I think she's
Quick
great. But
release, quick feet, doesn't need too much space.
yeah,
Motion shooter, you don't have to come to a standstill, can shoot it behind the screen. So now you think you have your ball screen coverages figured out, and that's fine. I don't really care. You can't push through my screener, and I can knock this down behind my screener. So where do you want to do?
yeah,
We can do this however you want to do it.
yeah, exactly. Just like ridiculous. This one to me, it's still Lynx and 5 for right now.
Yeah.
I have both series going 5, but obviously, anything could happen. I mean, I want to ask you about this. We talked about the Aces depth, Minnesota's depth, and this is part of why they lost in game 2. Big part of why they lost. I thought that I guess is under discussed to some degree, but their bench didn't give them shit in this past game. And this is why, when it got to overtime, like it did look like fatigue. They didn't score for the first few minutes of overtime once you got there. And it was tough because Phoenix gets it into overtime on the road. And if you're the road team in overtime, it's like you have to, like, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities in the series. You have to do this. You can't be 2-0 going back home, especially against this team they're the betting favorites to win in
Right.
the WNBA championship.
Right.
Where are you at with Minnesota's depth, especially now off of this effort? And now we're going to Phoenix. Now we're going to the road. And this is where you think like a Sammy Whitcomb, for example, could have another game because role players at home, like that's a real thing, especially with a team with this level of toughness.
Sammy, Cat,
Yeah.
Cat hit some big shots down the stretch. Then what only had 8 total, and I think her 2 biggest threes were in like critical moments down the stretch. But yeah, like for Minnesota, I don't even really think this is my first time actually seeing the fullness of their box score. I feel like Stewie and her presser. This is my first time seeing the rest of the thing. I like Jess Shepard a lot, man.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
She's really, yeah.
she another one of that same type of mold, and I
3 shot attempts, by the way, from their bench.
yeah, I don't expect this from Jess Shepard.
Yeah.
I don't from Heidemann 15
Heidemann.
minutes, no attempts. I
Mhm.
don't think you see that because at that point it becomes not what the point, but kind of what the point. Like I need you in here, kind of you can score, and you can score when you can score within the flow for us.
And they feed
And
off of her energy
they
also.
do, right? And so, we can get that from you. Um Kundlikova, I like a lot. I think that you have space to kind of get her some more attempts.
She had a really good
Um
first game.
the Dejanay injury really
Mm.
hurts. It really hurt them. I didn't even realize that's what had happened when it happened.
Me
Um
neither. They came out with the report like, "Oh, she's done for the playoffs." I'm like, "What? What are you
and then the
saying?"
rest of the minutes, like K-Mac played 43, 41 for Bridget.
Yeah.
Lon only played 30. I'm not worried. Their bench won't perform this way again.
Let's see Phoenix's distribution of minutes. So two start. Well, to be expected because look who you have coming off the bench with Dewana Bonner and Sammy Wickup. But two starters didn't even see 20 minutes. Only Alyssa Thomas was over 40. Kalia Copper was 33. Part of that was the injury, but she did end up finishing the game. And then Satu Sabali with 38.
He might have to go. He might have to find himself some relief minutes too, or both of these teams are going to just beat the hell out of each other.
Probably
Um,
the latter. I think. I think will happen.
I don't. I know that you can squeeze Kalani minutes in there. It's not my job to figure out where. Like Lexi held. Listen, I don't know. I don't expect Minnesota's bench to look like that or close to that again. And if it's for no reason other than like Natisha herself, just herself.
Yeah.
I think Kunlikova, especially if they're not going, well, no, because Phoenix can go mostly five out, um, and then maybe that becomes hard for her to manage with too. But yeah, I think between Jess and Heidemann, at least, uh, the bench shows a little stronger. I
Yeah.
can't imagine they don't.
I think you tell Heidemann, like, look, the first 6 minutes, just shoot four times. Just, just get
Don't press
downhill.
it, but
Yeah.
don't press it, but don't shy away from it. You get to
We'll
your
get
elbow, you get to the nail, you
right.
get that like short wing area, pull it.
We'll
You
give
think
you a
you can
high
get
ball
it?
screen. We'll give you a high
Yeah,
ball screen, try to get you downhill, pull up at the elbow, just get in rhythm.
read
We
it,
need you
feel
early.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think the message is there. Um I think if Phoenix does win this series, I'm kind of expecting it to be just rock fights. Like we just grind you the fuck down. We play at our pace. We're constantly shooting with like 6 seconds, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. We're making
Yeah.
sure that Alyssa Thomas is orchestrating, not necessarily doing everything from a usage standpoint, but is orchestrating everything going on. And Satsu Sabali could just get to the wing. You can get her a shot at any point in the game. She can get her own shot, frankly, at any point in the game as well.
I Oh God, I need her to keep her foot on the gas. She gets in this space of just of nonchalance and bad decision making where she really stresses me out. I'm like, sweetheart, please.
just
um,
just give me like a minute on Satsu Sabali and why is she to you? I guess I'll ask it this way: is she to you the ultimate swing piece in this series? Like how she goes is how Phoenix is going to go. Is that too much to say? I know we talked about Alyssa Thomas doing that, or I talked about Alyssa Thomas doing that, but you kind of know what you're going to get from Alyssa Thomas, whereas Satsu Sabali, the consistency that you talk about, they kind of need that more.
I you are so right in so much for me as I don't know that I even want to then call that a swing piece. I think she is too important
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
for her to be swing-ish. And I think Kalia is the same. I think swing-ishness for Phoenix, you get swing-ish stuff out of Monique and like Mac. I think you get some swingish stuff. I think Dewana still has like some swingish. Dewana can get you a game
yeah.
with some scoring. I think Satu. I think that um, the ball finds itself in her hands too often enough, and she is finishing too many attempts with shots or just with decisions like she is making too many end of possession decisions for me for her to be swing-ish. But yes, consistency from her, I think greatly increases Phoenix's, chance. But they don't have a chance, in my opinion, if you get Satu who look closer to one than two.
Last thing on this series, Nafisa Collier, because we haven't touched on her enough, probably. Um,
What a specimen.
no, for real.
What
Um,
a
I, I, does she like absolute like she needs this, right? Like
yeah.
this is her shot. Like this is gonna be maybe her best shot. I mean, it's tough to say because like we are we gonna have a league next year?
I don't know
Given
if best shot, definitely to that point.
like are we gonna have a league next year? Are the players gonna strike? Maybe they should if the WNBA isn't holding up their
Okay.
end of the
Okay.
bargaining.
Okay.
That may be an off-season discussion. Also, uh, a lot of the league, few people who don't know this, a lot of the league are gonna be free agents, so we
So
don't
many.
know. We don't know what teams are going to look like in large part. But I think she needs this series and this title. Like
Yeah.
this is a golden opportunity. You could say the same for Alyssa Thomas given the age and things like that, but for Minnesota, it's right there for them. And I guess from her, I kind of want to see it. More efficiency feels too easy, but it's something else. It's maybe the late game decision making, like when to attack, when not to, when to not force.
You talking
Um,
about Fee?
Fee,
Yeah.
yeah, you know. And defensively, I feel like she's gonna bring it, but it's not an easy matchup given the physicality. I also.
And I think that is kind of the thing. Um, or at least that is the thing that's most easy to verbalize for myself in this moment. I think it's the physicality of it all. And she has such great body control and like such great spatial awareness. She plays so well in the gaps and in the space, and she absorbs contact, and her shock absorption is good, and the fakes and the footwork and the countering, like she has it for it. Um and I don't know, I think to the question about like it's it's like right now, I think so. Um, for Alyssa, I think maybe she is still in her. It probably has to be now window, but is